The Young and the Restless Spoilers Shock. The wind was thick with tension as Sheila Carter stood at the edge of the grave, her eyes blurred with tears she hadn't wanted anyone to see. But here, at the funeral of her beloved granddaughter Heather Stevens, the grief was too heavy to hide. In her long and tumultuous life, Sheila had experienced loss before, but this, losing Heather? This was different. Heather had been young, full of life, and brutally taken from the world. The ache in Sheila's chest wasn't just sorrow, it was fury. Someone had killed her granddaughter, and Sheila would find out who. As the service ended, Sheila lingered by the grave, her fingers brushing the cold stone as the mourners began to disperse. She could feel the rage burning within her, a fire that demanded action. She wasn't a stranger to vengeance. Over the years, Sheila had been both victim and villain, her hands stained with the blood of those who had crossed her. And now, her instincts screamed for revenge. Lucy, Heather's daughter, approached Sheila with hesitance. Her face was pale, her eyes red from crying, but there was something else in her expression, fear. "Sheila," Lucy whispered, her voice trembling, "I know who did it." Sheila's head snapped toward her, the fire in her eyes now laser-focused. "Who?" she asked, her voice low and dangerous. Lucy's eyes darted around, as if afraid someone might overhear. "Sharon," she whispered, barely able to say the name. "Sharon killed my mom." Sheila's heart stopped. Sharon Newman, that fragile, broken woman? The idea seemed absurd at first, but Sheila knew better than to dismiss a gut feeling, especially when it came from Lucy. There was just one problem. "Do you have proof?" Sheila asked, her voice icy and controlled. Lucy shook her head, tears spilling from her eyes. "No, not yet. But I know it was her. I know it." Sheila's lips pressed into a thin line. Proof wasn't necessary for her. Sheila didn't need evidence to act. She wasn't one to wait for justice to be served by the law. She had her own methods. And if Lucy believed Sharon was the killer, that was enough for Sheila to make her move. 2 nights later, Sharon Newman disappeared. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. The police were baffled, and even Nick Newman couldn't find her. But Sheila knew exactly where Sharon was, because she had taken her. In an abandoned warehouse just outside Genoa City, Sheila had chained Sharon to a chair in a dimly lit room. The smell of damp concrete and rust filled the air as Sharon, disoriented and terrified, tried to figure out where she was. Her wrists were raw from the chains, her body aching from the rough handling Sheila's men had given her during the abduction. But the real terror began when Sheila finally stepped into the room. Sheila's eyes gleamed with cold fury as she stood in front of Sharon, arms crossed, her expression unreadable. There was no pretense of kindness, no comforting words. Sheila was here for one thing only, the truth. "You killed my granddaughter," Sheila said, her voice cold and unwavering. Sharon's eyes widened in shock and fear. She shook her head weakly, her voice shaking. "No, I didn't do anything." Sheila took a slow, deliberate step forward. "Don't lie to me, Sharon. I know you did it. Lucy told me everything." "I swear, I didn't mean for any of this to happen," Sharon pleaded, tears streaming down her face. "Please, you don't understand." But Sheila wasn't interested in excuses. She grabbed Sharon's chin, forcing her to look her in the eyes. "I don't need your excuses. I need the truth. And if you don't tell me what happened, I will make sure you never leave this room alive." Sharon sobbed, her body trembling with fear. The weight of her actions, the lies, the deceit, it all came crashing down. She had tried to convince herself that what she had done to Heather was necessary, that it was Cameron's influence, that she wasn't really responsible. But now, faced with Sheila's unrelenting rage, there was no escaping the truth. Sheila tightened her grip, her voice growing more menacing. "Tell me what you did, Sharon. Tell me how you killed my granddaughter." Sharon broke. The pressure, the guilt, the terror, it was all too much. Her voice trembled as the confession spilled out of her. I didn't mean to kill her," she sobbed. "It was Cameron. He made me do it. He said if I didn't, everything would fall apart. Heather found out something she wasn't supposed to, and Cameron said we had no choice. I helped him cover it up, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to hurt her." Sheila's expression darkened as Sharon confessed to everything. The plan to silence Heather, the cover-up, the lies. Sharon was a pawn in Cameron's twisted game, but Sheila didn't care. All Sheila saw was the woman who had played a role in her granddaughter's death. And where is Cameron now? Sheila demanded, her grip on Sharon's chin tightening painfully. Sharon whimpered. I don't know. He's gone. I haven't seen him since the night she died. Sheila's fury was palpable, a storm building inside her that threatened to explode at any moment. Her fingers twitched, and for a brief second, Sharon thought Sheila might kill her right then and there. But Sheila released her chin, stepping back. Sharon collapsed in relief, her body trembling with exhaustion and fear. Please, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, she sobbed. Sheila's lips curled into a twisted smile, one that sent a cold shiver down Sharon's spine. Sorry? You think sorry will bring Heather back? Sharon's sobs grew louder, but Sheila wasn't moved. She had heard enough. The confession was out. Now it was time to decide what to do with Sharon. Sheila circled Sharon slowly, like a predator stalking its prey. You think I'm just going to let you walk away after what you've done? You think you can confess and everything will be forgiven? Her voice was dripping with venom. No, you're gonna pay for this. And Cameron, wherever he is, will pay too. Sharon trembled, her mind racing. Please, don't kill me, she begged, her voice barely a whisper. I'll do anything. Just don't kill me. For a moment, Sheila seemed to consider it. Killing Sharon would be easy. It would bring closure, end the pain. But Sheila wasn't ready to let go of her vengeance just yet. No, she wanted Sharon to suffer, wanted her to live with the knowledge that she would never escape the consequences of her actions. You'll live, Sheila said coldly. But you'll wish you hadn't. I'm going to make sure everyone in Genoa City knows exactly what you did. You'll be branded a murderer for the rest of your life. Sharon's heart sank as Sheila's words washed over her. Her life was already in ruins, but now there would be no escape. Sheila would destroy her, not with violence, but with the truth. As Sheila turned and left the room, Sharon was left alone in the darkness, consumed by the weight of her sins. The door slammed shut behind Sheila, echoing like the final nail in Sharon's coffin.